lot of fun. But hopefully, that video, do you guys know what AWS stands for? AWS?
Yeah, Amazon Web Services.
Amazon Web Services. You know what a classifier is. You know what a labeling is, right? You know all these jargons now. These seem like, like baby stuff to you already, right? So that's awesome. Sounds like we learned a lot, during this whole 3 weeks. Okay, so why don't we do this? We're gonna start with the sequence, just as our team name. Maybe we start with the gun fishing team first, and then we're gonna start
first.
Okay, so then we're gonna start with the dream team, and finally we're gonna have Hall 9000. Is that okay? That's the order we're gonna go. Okay.
Going first.
Okay. All right. So, could you actually first of all, So let's do a proper introduction, right? Especially around who's actually in the team, because we have a lot of people here, or a lot of parents here. They probably don't know who's actually in the team, right? So just do the presentation and then enjoy. Okay. All right. Shahab, take away, please.
All right, so let me share my screen first. Okay, so can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So I'm Shahab, and this is the AI Cleaning Assistant. So basically, our project is taking a picture of a room or a yard or an office, and our program will detect if it's messy or clean. And our goal was to settle any disputes between parents, spouses, friends, of whether a room is clean or not.
Okay, so who are actually in the team?
Alan is in our team.
Alan, can you say something like maybe what's the biggest takeaway from the project?
Don't show your mom a picture of her room that's labeled messy.
Okay, Shahab.
For me, it was just the experience of learning AI and Python and things like that.
Yeah. What about Catherine?
It was just really interesting learning about Python and programming and data collection and stuff.
And also realize how good you are at design, right? Okay. Connor?
This is the first time I've ever learned any coding, so I thought it was really cool, and I want to pursue that. So learning coding was really
awesome.
So just really cool learning how to create an AI.
80?
First experience to AI, and also like how confusion matrix are confusing for the code at least.
Yeah, we'll make that better next time. Yeah. All right. Okay. Take away, Connor. Shahab.
So our project is, by its name, essentially a cleaning system to just help tell you what part of a room is clean. It doesn't have to be a bedroom; it could be any room, to tell you what is clean and what's messy. We came up with the idea because of the dispute that comes between parents and kids about if their room is messy or not, and this is the way to settle it. So the way this would work is that the program would you would upload an image to the program, and the program would identify the core parts of the image, what is messy and what is neat or tidy, and then it would turn the image to you with boxes showing what areas of the room, or the image for that matter, is neat and which one is messy.
And I think, yes, the demo. All right. So this is our website, and I think Connor, you could explain this.
So this is the website we created. It's called AI Cleaning Assistant. How it works is you click on the button, the big button that says click here to try, and then upload a photo, and it tells you what part of your room is messy or not.
And then these pages.
So here's our team.
Yeah, go to that team page and scroll down a little bit more, right? Show everyone. Yeah.
Aw. Cool.
This is everyone in our group and what they put a quote for, or what they most liked about the camp. So this is how we built it through lots and lots of work. We used Python, create our big program to run certain things like this. We did testing. We used Labelbox, which is a program where you can upload images and pretty much tell Labelbox which part of what is tidy or messy, so it can understand for itself. And then we trained it by showing it a bunch of different photos so it can like get ideas for other photos that people would upload. And then we built our website and then put all of our work into it.
So let's give it a try. So you click that button, and the cool thing about the AI Cleaning Assistant is that it's not just rooms, but it can be backyards, offices, and things like that. But for example, in this picture, it shows that this part is messy, this part, but it shows that the wall and the couch is pretty tidy. And although, you know, for some of the boxes, it's not that confident. For the other ones, it's a 78 and a 99% confidence that it is either messy or clean. So let's try another picture. Let's go with this one. And as you can see, this one, it says this part is messy, this part is messy, but the rest of the house or the room is pretty clean. And the confidence level is pretty high in that it's all above 90%.
I think this AI assistant has a very high standard. You know, you can see like that the coffee table was probably okay. I don't know.
So let's give this one a try. So as you can see, the couch over here, it's all messy right here, but then the shelf back there and the floor on the sides is pretty clean. And again, it's not confident with all of it, but for the most part, it's pretty confident. So let's try a backyard picture. Like this backyard is, I mean, I would say a lot of people would say that's pretty messy, and that's pretty with high confidence. It's that it's messy. So back to the slideshow.
So like Connor said, we started our process learning about machine learning and Python fundamentals, and we came up with our AI Cleaning Assistant project with based around computer vision. And then we downloaded thousands of images off Google using a Chrome extension, and we sorted and cleaned through all the images to upload to Labelbox. We then labeled each picture with bounding boxes of where the tidy and messy areas of the room were. And then we exported the images and prepared the data by converting it into a YOLO format to train it. And then using our coding center and GPU center, we trained and tested our model and created a confusion matrix to analyze our data. And then finally, we built our website and deployed our model.
Okay, so obstacles and frustration. So as with any project, there are multiple obstacles that a team needs to overcome. In AI Camp, there wasn't just obstacles, but many frustrations. Like, for example, trying to learn Python and actually creating our AI machine all in 3 weeks has many difficulties. So over the camp, we faced many obstacles and frustrations, whether it be annoying bugs in our code or problems with our coding center. For example, when Aditya and I were working on uploading some images from Labelbox to train our AI model, we kept trying to fix our code, but nothing seemed to work. We just kept getting the same error over and over again. Finally, after like 2 days, we realized that we were using the wrong function and fixed our code. Many other times, our coding center or GPU center, where we actually do all of our coding and experimenting, would go down and we wouldn't be able to code for a while. Also, Aditya and Connor were trying to find an error in our code when we were trying to create a confusion matrix, but we simply couldn't find it. With help from Michael, he taught us how to go into a debug mode, which allowed us to identify the problem. Despite all of these obstacles and challenges, through our mistakes and our problems, we learned a ton of stuff, like as I just said, for example, how to debug our code.
Mm-hmm.
So our knowledge, what we learned through this camp, each morning, in the morning, for the first 2 hours, we would be listening to Michael and other instructors give lectures in how AI actually works. And many of us came from having zero knowledge or background of even programming or knowing about AI. And in the 2 hours in the afternoon, we would implement what we learned in the morning in our project and various tasks that Michael and other instructors would have for us. We also applied our knowledge through AI, Python, and Terminal. Terminal is a way to talk directly to the computer, and we learned commands like cd, which is change directory, mkdir, which is make directory, touch, which is creating a new file, and ls, which is a list to show what we have in the directory. And we learned Python, which is a programming language that allows us to create applications to talk to our computer. We learned about import, pandas, Flask. We learned about if-else loops and for loops as well. But if we put both of those together, we can create an AI program that, in this case, we created an AI cleaning assistant. But in the future, there are many universal skills that we learn, such as learning Python, the machine learning, and the terminal that can take us, we could take with us anywhere to our jobs or a project that we're working on our own.
It wouldn't be camp without some funny stories. So when my mom's right here saw that a picture of her room was labeled messy, she reacted it badly, but with good humor. She was not on mute. I also accidentally deleted part of the website, but it was all okay in the end, so it's fine.
So although our project exceeded all of our expectations, we can still do a lot more for our project in the future. One thing we could add to our project is the confusion matrix we didn't get to finish. Pretty much what a confusion matrix is it's an algorithm that evaluates if the model is performing well or if it's not performing well. Another thing we can do in the future to make our program better is maybe like train it to see if you can like tell if your dog or cat needs the bath or if they're too unclean or clean.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions?
Any questions? Oh, any questions? No, I just thought it would be cool if it would give you suggestions on like what to do.
That's definitely something we could work on. That's good.
Potential update.
I thought, you know, if we find things that's not tidy, we can just like order some room service or something. You know, do it automatically. We don't have to do anything, you know. Just kidding.
Oh, that's so cool.
All right. Okay. So can we give Team Gone Fishing a round of applause, please? Thank you, you know, for being awesome. Okay. All right. So we have another prospective instructor joining us. His name is Oliver. This is his first time. We're just gonna prank him. Okay. We're gonna say, Oliver, your name is so cool. Okay. We're just gonna say that. Okay. We're just gonna stick to our story. Okay. Okay. Can we do that? Yes. Okay. We're just gonna do something crazy. All right. She's coming. All right. Show your camera. Show your camera. Okay. Show your camera. Hey, Oliver.
Hello.
Hey, can you show you? Oh, yeah, here we go. Hey, Oliver, I like your name a lot. How many of you also like your name? Like Oliver's name? No, we just want to prank you, but we didn't do it right, but whatever. Okay, so you're on the right spot. So right now we have a second team, which is, I think, Hall 9000 or Dream Team. Which one? I forgot. Which one go next? Let's have...
You said Dream Team before.
Yeah, okay, let's have Dream Team go next. Yeah. Okay. Okay, share your screen, please.
Okay, so our project was basically you would feed in an image of like someone's hand, like an ASL letter, and then it would give you what letter it is. So let me see if I can present. Can you see like my participant window? Yeah, I'll just like put in the
Yeah.
So we had 6 people working on this project. Me, Adi Chauhan. We had Andrew Song, Q1 Kim, Pranav Vijay Kumar, Satvik Madana, and Shane Berger.
Can we actually just take a little bit, do a little bit slower? Can you actually, talk a little bit, like maybe just one thing take away from the camp, just very brief, right? So that, people can know you, also just whatever you want to talk about. Yeah. We start with Adi then.
So my name is Adi, and probably the most useful thing I took from the camp was like the insight on like making career decisions and like choosing a path in life. I thought that was pretty useful.
Okay. Right. We have Andrew next.
Hi, my name's Andrew, and the thing that I most took away from this camp was, especially since this was my first time making one of these AI products, I know there's like a lot of things going into this, especially like collecting data and like labeling all of them, and then training the model itself, and then just that whole process. It was pretty complicated, but it was very interesting, and I thought it was very useful.
Mm-hmm. Is Kiwan next? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Kiwan, and I had zero experience in AI or this field before. And after this camp, I learned a lot about like basics of Python and just AI.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Pranav, and I learned a lot about like Python and stuff like that. But the biggest takeaway for me was like how to like adapt to like changes when it comes to like coding and stuff, because we ran into a lot of challenges, but then we adapted to all of them. So yeah, that was my biggest takeaway.
I thought you also did really well on that Mafia game.
Thanks.
Okay, Sadovik.
Hey, my name is Satvik, and the biggest takeaway I had from this camp was just the toolkit that AI Camp gives you, because it shows you all these different tools that are already there on the internet that you can do for yourself. So so like even though like the camp will end today, we could still continue trying to make our own AI products and learn more about AI.
Love that message. Maybe Shane, you can speak a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm Shane. I was the instructor for this team, and I had a lot of fun this session. Something that I will take away from this is just like the experience of like working with this particular team. I think they did like an awesome job on their project. From the very beginning, we had a very ambitious project because we are working with so many different like letters. There's 26 letters in the alphabet, and we also did a space character. I'll let them show off in a minute. But yeah, with more and more things that you're trying to detect, the more like data and time you need to put into these projects. And so I was really proud of my team for having such ambitious goals and seeing them through.
Yeah, you guys pretty much created the most complicated project. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what Shane said. When we told Michael we were going to make a sign language detector, he said we were absolutely crazy. Yeah, he told us that we were either going to get a big treasure when we came out of this camp, or we were going to be stuck in a forest, being slaved by a dragon. So yeah, if you can go to the next slide. So why in all reasons use a sign language detector? And we wanted to do something that was really useful in society. We wanted to destroy a language barrier. And this language barrier that we wanted to destroy was the barrier between verbal and nonverbal users. And most nonverbal users are familiar with ASL, the American Sign Language. And some of these verbal users that we know today are not really fluent with the sign language. So we wanted to improve the communication between these verbal and nonverbal users through translating ASL characters to English letters.
Okay, so to talk about the scope of our project, this is so that you guys know what is to be expected from our project. And so in the scope of our project is the ability to detect American Sign Language letters from images uploaded to our website. Images can have even more than one hand in it, so we could detect more than one hand in an image. And also part of our scope is the website itself. And the goal was to make the website easy and accessible to people that want to try out our model. And we can also take in images in JPG, PNG, and JPEG format and upload them into our website to translate them into an ASL character. However, as we were designing our project, we had to set some limitations for the scope of our project so that we could define a clear-cut goal and not make, not get lost in the forest, as Andrew was talking about earlier. And so there are some things that are not in the scope of our project, such as the ability to detect a character that is created from not human hands. So we're expecting human hands, not cartoon or graphical images. And our model is also not expected to detect deformed hands, or such as missing a finger, or if the whole hand is not inside the image, then we're not expecting good accuracy. And also, we aren't generating full words. So although we could detect multiple characters inside one image, our model is not going to take all those letters and format them into a word for you. And it also, we do not expect our model to detect characters that are far away from the camera or really small in the image. All these things are things that are great things to continue forward in future steps of this project, but for now, these are things that are not in the scope of our project.
How we created this project. We first collected images from a dataset on the website Kaggle, and then we uploaded those images onto the website called Labelbox and labeled thousands of images to the corresponding letter. And after we finished labeling all of them, we downloaded the labeled images and converted them into YOLO format and splitted those data and trained the model using YOLO. However, we found out that our model labels the images from the Kaggle perfectly, but struggles to label all other images. So we went back and collected more data, labeled those again, and trained them again.
Did you guys label thousands or tens of thousands?
Oh, at the end we collected label 13,700.
Wow. Okay. That's a record in this camp actually.
Yeah. And then we found out that this time our model performed better, so we deployed our model onto the website so everyone could use it.
Awesome.
We faced a few challenges when we were creating our model. Our first challenge was having inaccurate image detection for images not in the database. Like Kyuan was saying, we compiled our data through a website called Kaggle at first. We did this because the website had a large database with thousands of images, making it faster for us to train our model. What we found out was that our model could only detect images from the Kaggle database because the images didn't have any variation. They're all about the same. So we ended up labeling another 5,000 images on top of our 8,000, which caused our model to work much better. The second challenge we faced was working on the back end of our website with a limited amount of file storage. After we finished creating the model, we realized that the back end of the website, which is basically the part with the coding and stuff, could only receive about 100 megabytes of data at a time. Because our model was about 230 megabytes, we ended up not being able to completely upload it into the website. What we had to do was split it into different parts in order to upload it, which was pretty difficult. The last challenge we faced was combining the front end and back end of our website. First off, the front end of the website includes things most like mostly like the design, aesthetics, and the text. Meanwhile, the back end of the website is the actual AI programs and the other programs that run the website behind the scenes. After we finished the front end and the back end of our website, we ran into problems combining the two parts because some parts of the programming were not working in conjunction with the front end of the website. Eventually, we figured everything out, but it took a lot of time. Although we faced a lot of challenges, we solved all of them and kept going, which helped us learn even more about artificial intelligence.
Okay, so now we will demo the website. You can try it yourself if you go to shaneai.pythonanywhere.com in like spare time. So, so this is our website. As you can see here, we have an overview of collaborators and resources, and we also have like a timeline of how we did it, right? But let's just upload a file. Let's say, for example, we want to upload W. So it says we detected W with 100% confidence. And if we try
100% confidence?
Yeah.
Are you sure that's not in the training data?
It's not.
It's definitely.
And then, so if we try another one like Z, as you can, this wasn't the data set. What the heck?
Wait. We need
No, this one wasn't. Okay. Yeah. So someone can someone in the audience can like pick a letter and then.
He's using training data. He can't fool us. You're not going to use training data for your testing?
The first one was not in the training.
The first W was actually not in our training set. But the second one.
So we can let's just choose a random letter.
All right, choose but you can't search that because you pretty much
someone do it themselves. You have someone just like make a make a sign and then
I guess you guys can take a picture.
Yeah.
That might take a while though.
Yeah, because then you have to send it through that.
Wait, someone that's not in our team, just say a random letter for Adi to look up and say, and then you guys choose an image as well.
All right. How about
K?
Yeah, K. Yeah.
Okay, it's been a difficult one.
That one we might run into issues. Which one do you want?
It has to be a human hand. Can't be any like.
Yeah, it has to be a human hand.
Can you slow down a little bit because I feel dizzy already. I couldn't even see what you're doing. Okay, slow down a little bit. Okay. Just do the round on the right hand side.
This one?
No. The second round. Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay, cool.
I want to make sure that's a proper.
Oh, okay. Let me see the confidence. No. 99%. That is so high. I don't know. Okay.
You want to try another letter, maybe?
No, thanks. I'm gonna use my phone. I'm gonna use my phone later. I trust you. Okay, I trust you. It's just that this is a hard project. It's a hard project. With different backgrounds, everything. And also, I used to.
Adi, you should show something that doesn't work because we know there's a few that don't work.
Oh yeah. I think some tricky ones were like.
You should try.
I'm not sure if A works.
Wait,
I think I have a few that
there's like a
didn't
specific
work.
A that didn't work. I know that one.
Yeah.
Jabones.
Sergio me dijo que solamente podía sacar 9,000 al día por el cajero.
I don't know if I overrid it or something.
Les dijo que el señor ocupa 25,000. Viernes, sábado, domingo, 9 por 3, 27.
Is this one?
Okay,
I can't find one that doesn't work.
Okay, I'll just.
I forgot where it was.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. This is good. Okay, let's continue the presentation. Okay.
Okay.
Obviously, even though we didn't show you some that weren't accurate, we definitely want to fully develop this product into if you could actually incorporate it to something useful. The big thing that we wanted this to do in the future is to have it involved with real-time computer vision. So like right now, if we're facing in front of the camera, if I just like show random letters like this, that it'd be able to translate them into full phrases and sentences, which would actually be useful in the future, so we could actually improve communication. So that is definitely something we want to improve in our product, and that's probably the main thing.
Cool.
Thank you everyone for coming, and if you have questions, now is the time to ask.
Would it be possible if someone took a picture like off their camera and then like did some hand gesture thing, and you guys be able to do that?
Yes, but depending on how close it is to the camera.
Well, for now, this was just image detection, so like, it's not like we'd be able to do multiple frames at once. But yeah, that's, like I mentioned, that was a next step that we wanted to take.
You can actually you can easily do that frame by frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe later we can like get someone to like send an image and you can try it out.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, have you guys actually organized your code into GitHub?
No, not yet.
Jane said we could do that later.
Okay. Well, just make sure that you do that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And also in that website, whose account was that?
That's my account.
Got it. Okay. Great. Okay. So I guess whole 9,000. Actually, can we give a round of applause for the dream team? You know, this is one of the most complicated project you guys actually made out. You know, I thought you for sure you're lost in the woods. You know, when I heard your model is not performing, I was like, haha, I told you so. And then, you know, somehow you actually made it up, you know, make it back. So great job. Okay. So up next we can have whole 9,000.
All right, take it away, team.
All right, can everyone see the screen?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so.
Hi, everyone.
Let's go through
We're Team HAL 9000. Our team members are Axel, he's the product manager. There's Brandon, Mia.
Actually, one second. I just want to make sure everyone talk a little bit. Axel, are you there? Okay, you're muted though.
Yep, I'm here.
Axel, can you talk a little bit like what you learned in the camp? Just like one sentence, you know?
Yeah. By far the most eye-opening thing that I learned was how an actual product is made, because that is something that you don't learn in school, haven't learned anywhere. And so seeing the steps that a product goes through, like any software development, that's very useful for the future.
Mm-hmm. What about Brandon?
Yeah, I learned the overall process on how to make, like, machine learning, all the steps that you have to go through in order to make a working, functioning model and test it properly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think Mia is not here today, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, Mia sent us a note this morning. She come under the weather, and we hope that she actually is okay and feels better.
Yeah.
So thank you for recording this so she can see this later.
Yeah.
She was basically part of the whole step, every step of the way up till this morning.
Yeah. Is Pranav?
Yeah. So I guess one of the main things I learned was we always kind of think of machine learning as this thing that like, with like image detection, we put an image in and it'll give us what it is. But learning kind of what happens behind the scenes with the neural networks and all the hidden layers, it's really interesting to see how each node connects and how decisions are made.
Samir?
I think the biggest takeaway from this camp for me personally is really how to organize and cooperate when you're creating a product like this. Before this camp, I'd done like small Python projects, but really nothing of this scale and nothing that required me to be constantly cooperating and getting feedback from all my teammates. I think that's a really important skill that I can probably apply to like a job or in the future in school or in college.
Mm-hmm. Thank you also, Samir, for asking very good questions. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Katrin?
I learned a lot about how AI is made, how it's trained. Like, I didn't know that stuff before, but now I do since I've been able to get the chance to work on one.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's continue the presentation.
So Axel was our project manager. The rest of the team members are Brandon, Miha, she's not here unfortunately, Pranav, Samir, and me, Katrin. We made AI that can detect the currency type of a given note. So you take a picture of a bill you have, like a euro, and the AI will detect the currency for you. Pranav will tell you why we made this and also give you a little demo on how the AI works.
All right, so the main reason for us making this AI was to automate the currency exchange process. It eliminates the need of people at currency exchange booths at places like airports. It also overcomes any language barriers that may arise, and with the current situation of the world, it definitely helps reduce disease spread as there would be no person-to-person contact. So now I'm going to show you a little bit of how it works in action. I will be testing a few images that I just have pre-downloaded that weren't in the dataset. But if you would like to send in your own image, you could send it to me over Slack, or you could try it. You could try it for yourself at this link right here. So if I go over to our website right now, what I'm mainly going to focus on is this part right here, where if we press try our product, it'll open up where we can select an image. But scrolling down, you can see our project overview and the purpose that I just went over, and also our entire team. And a couple of resources down here, AI Camp, which is the basis of our product, Labelbox, the site we use to label all our images, and YOLO, which is our object detection system that we base the AI on. All right, so now by trying our product, I can just select this image right here. And once it loads, it will give you an image with the bill it thinks it is with its confidence level. So dollar with 100% confidence. And all right, let's just try this one. Or yeah, this might be the same one. Oh yeah, it was. This one. So yeah, you can tell that it detected the Chinese renminbi. The reason there's two 100% is because there are several kind of detection boxes in the image. So yeah. All right, back to the presentation. Samir and Axel will now go over how it's made and yeah.
So to make this product, there are several different steps you have to go through from the very beginning to the final product. The first step was data collection. So other teams went over this too, but we'll go over it one more time. So unlike the ASL team, there's not just a data set of different currencies laying around that we could just grab stuff from. So we all had to manually go and download a bunch of images. So what we did is we broke our team into two different groups. The first group used a Chrome extension to download massive amounts of images from Google image search. And the second team wrote some code in Python that interfaced with Microsoft's Bing API to directly download a lot of images from Bing. So we specifically chose to download images from both Google and Bing to increase the variety of our images so that we're not all downloading from the exact same source. Once we downloaded several thousand images, we had to go through the task of cleaning out those images. So even though we downloaded so many images, most of those images were just complete garbage. They're unrelated to the task at hand, or they're really blurry, or they had writing on them, or some other factor that made them unusable for the neural network to actually consider as a dollar or a euro or whatever it is. So we all had to go through all our images and sort through them all and delete all the bad ones. Finally, once we sorted through everything and cleaned it all up, we were able to upload it to the software called Labelbox, which actually lets you label the images. So with this software that we've produced, not only does it tell you what is in the image, i.e. it doesn't just say it's a dollar or a euro, but it actually tells you where in the image that currency is. It'll draw a box around that. To actually have it learn where the object is, you have to tell it where the object is when you're doing the training. So you have to actually go and draw a box around every single dollar bill or euro or whatever currency for every single image. So this whole process took a really long time, but once we finished all that up, we were able to actually train our model, which Axel will tell you about next.
Just to jumping really quickly, I just tried the let's see, I can't even disable this, but I just tried this Hong Kong dollar. It didn't work, right? So because I think Hong Kong dollar is not in the training set.
Yeah, it's not.
So it's very good. It's a good and active example.
Yeah, it's a good result that it didn't work, because when we first ran through our renminbi data, which is the Chinese yen, we actually had a lot of different kinds of yen, and that was throwing our model off. So there would be like Taiwanese yen, stuff like that. So we had to sort that out to make sure it was entirely Chinese yen.
Nice.
Right, and so that's actually part of this step, but a little later. So what we did, once we have that data collected, we need to split it up into 3 parts. So 80% of it will be training data that the model uses to train, right, over and over again. It's going to sort that through the various convolution layers. And then 10% of that is for validation, which means that the model goes through that and self-tests. And then 10% of that is for us to test it. That's the testing data. So in order to test it, we need to develop a confusion matrix, which is some code that will have the model run over the testing data. And then it'll tell us how accurate it is. And it splits it into these different categories, like a true label and predicted label, meaning the true label is what it should be based off what we told it. And then the predicted label is what the AI spits out. And so when we got our first confusion matrix, it was pretty poor performance because there was lots of false positives. And these false positives mean that we gave it a birth certificate and it said it was a pound, which is very wrong. So what we had to do is go through the data, take out anything that was watermarked or anything that said specimen, because that was what was throwing some things off. And so then we trained the model, got a new matrix, and Samir will tell you next what happens.
So after we collected all the data, cleaned it all out, labeled it, and finally trained our model and did all the retesting we needed, we were able to actually put the product together. So to actually get the product working, we had to turn it into a website with a front end and a back end. So at this stage, we broke into 3 teams. The first team continued with the model evaluation to really fine tune all the parameters of the model and finish up the different metrics like the confusion matrix. The front end team worked to create the template for the front of the website, which made it look really nice, as you all saw earlier, and added all the pertinent information like our team, our purpose, etc. And they used an online templating tool called 8B to actually generate all that stuff without having to type it all out by hand in a text document. Finally, the backend team worked to actually make the website do its purpose, which is to tell you what kind of currency you're putting in this image. So that part takes the image that you put it in, it sends it through the neural network, and it spits back out the modified image and tells you what is in the image and how confident it is. So with that last part, the backend, we primarily used a Python web framework called Flask, which lets you interface the Python code we used earlier to design the whole model with the HTML and CSS code for the website. Once we finished the front end and the back end and it was all integrated together, we were able to host it online on a free web server called Python Anywhere and do some test runs to see if it actually works and do a few modifications in our final code. Once we finished that up a couple of days ago, we were able to actually upload it to the final server, which is the AI Camp server where it currently lives in. So now Brandon will tell you all about what our future plans are for this product and what we plan to do with it.
In the future, first we plan on configuring the program a bit more.
Brandon, we can't hear you.
What?
Your voice just cut off in the middle, but can you repeat what you just said?
So in the future, we plan on utilizing this program at airport currency exchange centers, so people can see what notes they need to either pass in or obtain, and retrain the model with more data for increased accuracy overall and reducing the amount of false positives. We'd also like to increase the breadth of the program's ability by adding more currencies. and detect the denomination.
All right, so at this point, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.
Why there's a little man moving like on your screen?
Oh, that's just my cursor.
Oh, that's your cursor? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, can we give Team Hall 9000 a round of applause, please? Good project. Good project. Okay. Okay, so I want to see if the parents, if you guys have any questions. And if you can, show your camera, because right now we're just seeing boxes. We don't know even who you are. Okay, so wow, you know, this is a long journey finally come to an end. You know, I felt like this is the Bulls season in 1997, 1998, you know, the last championship almost, right? It was a tiring season, and we went all the way, you know, from most of you, you know, not knowing too much about AI to now you can fully understand, right? Like why, you know, in the Silicon Valley, the seafood thing, what is it trying to say, right? And hopefully you realize the kind of power that you have in your mind, right? Which is basically you now at this point, you know how to create a product, you know how to learn how to from the scratch, right? You know how to debug, you know how to use different tools, you know how to use data to make decisions. I hope these lessons will stick with you, you know, for a long time, and hope you, you know, fully utilize the tools that, you know, we gave to you. Okay. And I would say, you know, a couple of things also. That is, you know, like the Slack channel. Feel free to use it. Feel free to communicate, you know, to your teammates or to us, right? Once you're AI Camp students, you're forever AI Camp students, you will be in the channel. And also, we're gonna invite you for more speaker sessions. So I did notice actually this session, we only had one guest speaker, but next week on Tuesday, we have a really good guest speaker. So we have a Stanford professor, Tucky Wiseman. So he's a pioneer in information theory. He's going to tell you so much about, you know, machine learning and information theory. It's really cool to learn from him. Okay, so next Tuesday at noon, come and join us and listen to Tucky to talk about, you know, information theory. Also, Tucky Wiseman, I don't know if you know it, he's actually in the Silicon Valley show. You know, the Wiseman score, you know, to talk about the compression and stuff. That's the Wiseman that we have. Okay. Okay. Also, I would say, you know, we are continually trying to improve our program. So for example, the whole bunch of stuff we actually use, you know, like the GPU center, we never had that, right? For the first batch, you know, in the summer, and now you know, we have that GPU thing. And our coding center will continue to evolve, and probably we're gonna, you know, get rid of the pythonanywhere.com for the next batch so that we can use the coding center to do websites. And I hope, you know, you also had fun, you know, you can have game sessions, right? So I think this is great. You know, this is a great 3 weeks that we spent together. Okay. So with that said, thank you so much, you know, for, you know, going through this whole thing. You know, thank you. Oh, also, can we give a round of applause for our instructors? I forgot to say that, you know, for Shan and Richard, you know, for everything that you have to, you know, do it for us. You know, thank you so much. I also want to thank myself, you know, for putting all these presentations and sometimes, you know, endure dramatic sessions with my students. You know, I had a first time in my session where one of my students started crying, and you know, we actually, you know, went through that and it was okay, right? So, you know, that was good too. Okay, so I want to end it now, but, you know, thank you so much, right, for joining us. You know, once again, you can communicate through, you know, Slack. Anytime we have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye for now.
Bye.
Bye bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye bye.